Welcome to Run It Back Philly. DJ Eastwood doesn't need your mother***ing intro.
Yeah. Aaron, right on the money, bro. Yeah. Run it back, Philly. My name is DJ Eastwood. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros. Do me a favor, throw me back into the YouTube algorithm by smashing the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're brand new. We talk Philadelphia sports here almost every single day. All right, so the Sixers lose to the Charlotte Hornets 109-98. Not exactly what we were looking for tonight. I thought we would stand a better chance against this team because they don't have anybody to stop Joel Embiid. But what they did that I didn't anticipate was run a zone defense most of the game. And the zone defense for this Philadelphia 76ers team will be the kryptonite. It doesn't matter how good Joel Embiid is. It'll just take you out of your element because guess what? How do you beat a zone defense? Shooting. How do you beat a zone defense? Ball handling, penetration, and shooting. Creativity from the perimeter, which this team has severely lacked for a long time. I thought we were getting that from Tyrese Maxey in the first quarter. Even his deep ball, he hit 2 threes in the first quarter. I think he had 8 in the first quarter and finished the game with 10. He was rolling in the first, man. He had a really nice step back 3 from the top of the key. And then he just kind of faded away, fell off. He looked passive a lot in certain situations. I think when they run that zone, man, it's like who's going to step up? Who's going to break the zone? Who's going to take it upon themselves to try something and get in the lane? The first person I saw do it was halfway through the second quarter was Furkan Korkmaz, and I was like, wow, the first person, the first player on the team that stepped up and tried to penetrate the zone was Furkan Korkmaz. You know, the zone really kills us. It turns into a stand-around game. It turns into just a stale offense where we try our best to swing the ball around the perimeter, but we don't swing the ball fast enough. We don't have good enough shooters in general to deal with that. And there was a lot of questionable calls in the first half, but I don't think they affected the game that much. I really think the zone defense is what won the game, especially in the second quarter. We got outscored 30-15. Anthony Hands. Tobias Harris literally demands the ball, shoots bad shots, then doesn't get back in transition after he misses because he's arguing with the Tobias Harris was awful most of this game. A couple of big plays in the fourth quarter that was like, wow, I've been talking trash on Twitter about Tobias this whole game, and now he's going to bring us back and win the game in the fourth. I would have been happy. I'll always be happy to be wrong about somebody. But it's hard to be wrong about Tobias at this point. He is what he is. Everybody knows what he is. He's just, man. And he got booed again tonight by Philadelphia fans. I was waiting for him to clap back. I was waiting for him to do his little don't effing clap thing. But I think he's embracing it now. I think he's like, oh, I'm getting booed again. I mean, I suck every night. They're gonna boo me. There's nothing I can do about it. Clapping back at him isn't gonna help. So he didn't do that tonight, but he got booed because missed a couple easy shots, some horrible turnovers. That's when the booing started in the second quarter, was on 2 turnovers in a row, just lackluster with the ball. Seth Curry had a couple of bad turnovers in the second quarter too. They were just lazy. I saw one play, speaking of Seth Curry, I saw a play where he's coming around the baseline on a baseline screen, pin down screen, whatever the technical term is for it, and he's just kind of jogging along the baseline and jogs around the screen, barely gets the ball, and then throws a really weak pass that gets tipped, and then the Hornets get a fast break. Why do we play like this? Why are we so just, what's the word I'm looking for? I know we're physically slow. I know we're one of the most unathletic teams in the NBA is outside of Joel Embiid, but why do we play so nonchalant, jog around screens, throw lazy passes? What's the common denominator when a team's doing that? It's got to be coaching, right? It's got to be what you go through in practice, right? It's got to be your mindset going into a game, right? It's got to be the lack of a coach firing up a team in the locker room before they go out on the floor. And the first thing Doc Rivers said in his post-game press conference today was, not the first thing he said, but the thing that stood out to me, he just kept saying the Hornets outplayed us. You know, they outplayed us. They played harder than us. And then he said, we were flat tonight. That happens. That happens. This is what I hate about Doc Rivers. Why does Doc Rivers show no accountability at all? Why is he so, adamant about defending or making it okay? Like when they barely beat the Houston Rockets a couple weeks ago, or who was it? Some trash team. And Keith Pompey asked him about it, and he defended and said it's not a win is a win, and no, it's not. What is it about him that's like he can't just sit up there and say, we were trash, I got to have my guys better prepared to play an NBA basketball game? No, he sits up there and says, we were flat tonight. That happens. That happens. It seems to happen a lot more with this team than any other team in the NBA, Doc Rivers. Oh, man. Wow. But realistically, the Charlotte Hornets have a lot more ball handling, shooting type of players than we have, a lot more combo players that can dribble, pass, and shoot, the thing that this team's been missing forever. You look at Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges had some huge plays down the stretch, a big three down the stretch, a big finish over Joel Embiid. Too many guys. Who did that? Hey, Doc Rivers with the $100 donation. Here's your accountability. Start counting the cash and leave me alone. Glad you're back, brother. Hey, thank you for that, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. I don't know who you actually are. I don't think you're actually Doc Rivers. But there you go, man. Top super chatter, Doc Rivers. There he is, man. Hey, thank you for that. Much appreciated. But I'm still going to slander you to death, Doc, okay? Now, where was I? They got a lot of players that can dribble, pass, and shoot, and we don't. And like I said, Miles Bridges made some big plays down the stretch, a big finish over Joel Embiid. You get Gordon Hayward dropping 30 on you. That's the thing about a team like the Hornets, or a team like most teams in the NBA, aside from the Philadelphia 76ers. We are the Philadelphia Embiid. Shout out to Romp 2.0. He's also in the chat. Said, release Tobias Harris. Great defensive game plan by a real coach on the Hornets. Doc had no clue how to adjust. He had no clue how to adjust. He doesn't ever know how to adjust. He kind of never adjusts anything at all. But yeah, we're the Philadelphia Embiids tonight. Joel Embiid's out there trying to do absolutely everything. He has no help. He has no supporting cast. He has no players around him that seem to be able to step up when you need him to step up. When the zone is happening and Joel starts to struggle, not even really that he's struggling in this game too much. He dropped 31 again. 8th consecutive 30-point game for Joel Embiid, tying the franchise record held by Allen Iverson and Wilt Chamberlain. Shout out to Joel Embiid. He will probably go down as the best Philadelphia 76er basketball player of all time when it's all said and done, especially if he can get a ring before his career's over. Yeah, he's out there trying to do everything, and you're saying, okay, who's going to step up? But when you look at this roster, who's that player? You know, we don't even have a Gordon Hayward. We don't have a guy that can go drop 30. Tobias Harris gave us another 17. You know, we just don't have a guy that can go drop 30. Unless Furkan Korkmaz has one of those ridiculously hot nights. He's not that guy. Who else? You know, you don't. Tyrese Maxey can get buckets here and there, but he's 21 years old. He's too inexperienced. Like I said, he had a big first quarter and then completely fell off. We just don't have that kind of talent on the roster when it comes to a team that plays good defense. The Hornets played good defense tonight, took us out of our element, and nobody could step up. Gordon Hayward, 30 points. Miles Bridges, 21 points. Terry Rozier, 22 points. LaMelo Ball had a horrible shooting night, 5 for 16. He was 0 for 8 from 3 and still dropped 13 points and 8 assists and was a plus 18. I guess I got to agree with Doc Rivers. They were flat. It happens. It shouldn't happen. Great comment, Chris O. Hey, Doc, play Isaiah Joe a lot more. And I'm going to get into that because what I saw from Dan Burke in those 2 games that he took over was there was a lot more athletic, hustling kind of players on the floor. And it doesn't have to be some big name player, Doc. It doesn't have to be that. You know, we saw Miles Powell, Tobias Harris, the 2 super chats so far from Doc Rivers and Tobias Harris. So thank you guys for that. I would give you your money back if you would agree to play better and coach better. But yeah, we won 7 games in a row. We're not going to sit here and freak out about this, but we won, we beat a lot of bad teams. We did upset the Brooklyn Nets. I'm going to look at the minutes and the rotations in that game. That's a game that I specifically want to look at because that was the Dan Burke game, and I'm interested to see who he played and when he played them that helped us upset the Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, those games, we seem to have those no-name hustling kind of players on the floor. The hungry players, the players that aren't out there jogging around screens and throwing lazy passes. Charlie Brown. You know what I mean? When you're down 20 in the second quarter, or whatever we were down, when you're down, we got outscored 30-15 in the second quarter. We were down 20 at one point. I think it was somewhere in the third quarter. But when you're down there, why don't you just put a hustle kind of player in the game for some kind of spark? You know what I mean? Change it up. No, Doc Rivers, he runs the same 7 guys the entire time. And it's like he's so reluctant to put anybody in the game that isn't on that 7-man rotation. And I don't know why. Against who was it after the Brooklyn game? Who did we beat? We won 2 games in a row. The second game, Isaiah Joe had 21 minutes and had 18 points. And now we're back to no Isaiah Joe. No Isaiah Joe. Isaiah Joe got 6 minutes in this game, only got 1 shot off. He was a +8 in those 6 minutes. But it's like, just why won't you play players that can dribble, pass, and shoot against a zone? Especially against a zone. Throw Miles Powell out there. If nobody's penetrating and nobody's breaking the zone, try something else. Nope. Brings Danny Green back in off of an injury. Matisse Thybulle had 15 minutes and gave you a goose egg. Oh, man. That's Doc for us, man. That's Doc for us. I don't even know what else to say about it. And then you talk about the end of the game. We make a little bit of a run. We got it down to 10 points. I think we had it down to 9 points at one time. And Doc's plan to break the zone is to play Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond together. Why? Why is that the plan? Why? Why? I don't understand it. It's not common sense. Tobias Harris, thanks for the donation. I'm awful. Take my money. I'll take your whole $180 million if you want to give it up. Doc again. Hey, Toby, don't be so hard on yourself. You're my. I don't know what you're doing or if this is the same player running all of those accounts, but that's hilarious. Driving lanes were wide open. We kept forcing threes. I agree, Romp. I don't understand Doc's rotations. And then you go Embiid, Drummond at the end of the game. The whole fourth quarter, basically, he goes Embiid, Harris, Embiid, and Drummond on the floor together. I mean, that's the opposite of what to do against a zone defense and against a team that has a bunch of players that can create from the perimeter. So